Hello and welcome to Graceful Connections, presented by Academy for the Soul. I'm your host, Sophie Bidard, and the co-creator of Graceful Connections, together with Christel Hughes, founder of Academy for the Soul, the online school for intuitive arts. Graceful Connections is an adventure of exploration, discovery, healing, liberation, growth, and truthful expression, which is facilitated, amplified, magnified, and blessed really with grace. As graceful connections are woven between you and our expert speakers, your guides into gracefully catalyzing your intuition. Thank you for being with us and bringing your unique vibration, colors, and energetic imprint, without which something would be missing. Thank you for answering yes to the calling of grace and the calling to transform your immunity into a galactic blueprint, ensuring resilience, adaptability, and balance in body and spirit, which is what our guest, Amanda Hopkins, will be sharing with us about today. That's going to be fascinating for sure. Now, before we start, I want to make a special note, a prayer really, that our gathering in the orb of grace, as we receive an infusion of grace, that we may hold this grace in our hearts, our minds, our bodies, and we may be pillars of grace and pillars of peace in the current turmoil of the world. May our gathering be of graceful service as our presence is spreading all around the planet. And each and every one of us on the live call and on the replay can choose to be holding this grace and sharing this grace everywhere we are and everywhere we go. Thank you. So let's begin. I invite you to relax and take a few deep breaths. Breathing out all that does not belong to this moment. And let's bring all of your attention and your presence here and now. We set our intention that our time together, all that is shared in words and beyond the words, all the energies that we call in and flow serve our highest good, our evolution, and be of service to the highest good of all. I invite you to open your heart, or open it even more, and be ready to receive. And to open your mind, or open it even more, and be ready to receive. Activating your connection to the new Earth crystalline grid and your connection to galactic center, the center of truth. You are held, both grounded and suspended. You are safe, relaxed, and ready and open to receive. Now I'm calling the orb of grace from the heart of the universe. And placing the orb of grace around our group, our gathering, each and every one of us. That we be held in the orb of grace and infused with grace all along our time together. Let's take a moment to adjust to the purity and the subtle high frequency of grace. allowing it to gracefully dissolve, realign, harmonize, amplify, magnify all that needs to be so, in purest alignment with divine will and the divine order of grace. And breathe. Beautiful. Now, within the Orb of Grace, I'm delighted to welcome today's speaker, intuitive energy efficiency expert Amanda Hopkins, who will offer fascinating insights about cosmic lightwave codes for intuitive immunity and cellular repair. It is such a blessing to have you with us today, Amanda. Welcome.
Sophie, thank you so much. Thank you for having me. That was such a beautiful opening. I could feel everyone actually really settling into the body, which is so great. You know, so often as we're navigating the world and we're being influenced by the energies that are all around us, that are moving even within and through us, we can be pulled off center and we can tend to go out of body, you know, chasing energy here and there or chasing what we think we need to do or be. And so just to really settle in and start to come into the recognition and remembrance of our true power of being in the body and being able to really attune ourselves to that sovereign state of flow that really is our ideal immuno-expression, if you will. You know, that's really what it's all about. And I love that in these moments of sacred gathering, that's one of the ways in which we can attune our body to that sacred knowing of self. So such a beautiful opening. I can't wait to dive into the greater capacities of our immunity and what focusing on that means for us as we navigate the fluxes of the planet and beyond. And as we, you know, navigate this journey of ascension that we're all going through. And I know we're all feeling it big time right now.
For sure. Yes, for sure. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you for being with us. Everyone, before we dive into our topic, and I made a note, immuno-expression, that's very intriguing. So before we take a deep dive with you, I want to let everyone know Amanda is going to offer intuitive readings today. So to request your reading, press *2 on your phone or click raise hand on the web to get on the line with Amanda. Or you can place your request in the Q&A box on the web. And question to ask for your reading is, what's my number one illuminated immunity disruptor? So that's going to be in a little while. For now, let's dive, into our fascinating topic. And I'd like to begin with asking you, Amanda, what is the primary role that our immune system is playing on our planetary and body ascension journey?
Yes. Good question, Sophie. So, you know, working with thousands of clients over the years, what I have found is that, you know, so many have these momentary illumination experiences that are so expansive and they feel amazing, right? And they do have a lasting impact in subtle ways that do make a major difference in the future life trajectory. But the capacity to really truly receive and embody and be in the dance of the universal light flow, you know, allowing the fullness of the universe to come in and animate the body as a greater expression of the infinite intelligence of the universe. So far, it's been greatly limited, right? We have these moments, but then we kind of settle back into this foundation of being that is more steeped in what we consider the physical quote unquote reality, right? It's the reality that we've created due to the consciousness that we hold in our bodies. And so we're really being called to recalibrate and recondition the body, especially our immune system, to be the multifaceted receiver and radiator of sovereign soul light, so that this masterful universal intelligence can flow through you in unprecedented ways. Now, the role of the immune system specifically, right, is that it allows us to move into a multidimensional navigation system. right? Rather than being caught up in the lower dimensional expression within our bodies where we're still operating from fear and trauma-based paradigms that, I mean, these run deep in the background, beneath the surface. You know, we feel like we've done this work and we've done this work and we've done this work, but we've got to remember that we've had incarnations, multiple on this planet. We've had incarnations off planet. There's so much that is influencing our cellular expression at a subtle level. And primarily, we are still collectively steeped in these paradigms of protecting and defending and searching and destroying as immune system primary functions, right? And so I want you to start to consider that those are still roles that our immune system is going to play whatever level we're at, right? We're going to want to, if we're talking cosmic immunity, we're going to want to protect ourselves from cosmic radiation, right? Those are the energies that don't match what we most need and what really serves our being, our physicality. You know, cosmic is the most expansive nature of our being. But, you know, coming back, you know, what we're really shifting into and what our immune system is helping us to facilitate within our body is moving from that kind of protect and defend and search and destroy mode into more of a nuanced titrating of the vibrational essences that are in and around us and discerning which of those vibrational tones and light waves are a true match for the divine templates of light that awaken your radiant soul expression within you, right? And then allowing more and more of the cosmic light that facilitates that ever increasing expansion and awakening of the hidden capacities within the body that match your sovereign expression, that allow your body to be that radiant vessel of true light of you in expression on the planet to really come forward. Now, there's a whole host of cosmic technology that really supersedes anything that we've conceived, right? That has bioapplication in the body and also applications on the planet to have us operating from what I've witnessed as this sophisticated liquid light flow that allows us to adapt and embrace that ever increasing expression of soul genius, you know, and that's what the cosmic light waves help to facilitate awakening within. And so what we're really looking at is, I mean, essentially it's a complete overhaul of our immune system from that operational dynamic that is steeped in those old protective paradigms to this sophisticated flow of masterful light. And this is what enables your body to thrive in all conditions. So when we're looking at this, we're kind of thinking this is twofold. We've got our hardware, which I consider kind of like our physical body, even though our body, you know, I've talked about this before, and I know, Sophie, you've probably heard me say this, but if you haven't heard me say this before, those of you who are listening in, you know, our physical body really isn't as solid as it seems. There's so much space. There's so much vibrational movement that seemingly makes up this solid body, right? But in reality, our body is so impressionable. And so we really have to address the quote unquote hardware, you know, our body system, how it's structured, how it's operating. Is that really a match for our ideal immunity? Which again, when we're talking ideal immunity, we're looking at what is the vibrational foundation and essence of how our body is flowing and moving in comparison to what's ideal for us. And then also the software, that's the interface of our energetic system, our aura, our chakras. And then even beyond, how are we interacting and engaging with the planets in her phases and cycles and waves? How are we interacting with the galactic energies, the energies of the entire universe, all the planets, right? The celestial energies, the stars. I mean, our bodies are made up as the same building blocks as the stars, right? So how are we interacting and engaging with the influences of the celestial beings? And then even expanding beyond that, the cosmic energies, the supreme intelligence of all that exists. Right? We have to be aware that there are all these layers of rhythms and cycles that we are navigating. And our immune system really is the discerning factor of what we are allowing in and what we are radiating within our body and what we are filtering out. What are we clearing out? What are we releasing from our body being?
Yeah. Okay. As you're talking, I'm brought to the fact that, well, I believe that many of us are aware of all these energies and influences, right? But many of us may feel um, somewhere between, sometimes overwhelmed, sometimes feeling our bodies fried, or feeling maybe even sometimes victimized by the planets and the cosmic energies, or let's say being at the mercy, right? Being at their
Mhm.
mercy. So how do we optimize our immune system function to, instead of being at the mercy, on the contrary, to capitalize on those powerful cosmic energies that are flooding the planet?
Right. A great question, Sophie. As we ascend and we're shifting into that greater capacity to filter and select the empowering and harmonizing light frequencies that engage our body in that radiant dance with the cosmic forces, taking us out of that sense of being at the mercy, right? Like coming back into our power, just like I was saying, it's so beautiful that you're bringing us back into that space as an experience so that we
Hmm.
can be in that, so that we can really recognize the role that our body plays in opening us up to kind of stepping outside of that sense of being at the effect, if you will, right? So
Hmm.
much of what we have taken on in our internal programming, the consciousness that we have adopted in order to feel safe on the planet, to feel protected, it was valid. When we took it on, it was valid and it was essential. And so the first piece really is the recognition that we are moving into new states of being. We are moving into greater capacities and ways that we can protect ourselves and really be at choice within our own bodies. And so, first of all, recognizing that as we release the old, we are actually stepping into a greater capacity to protect ourselves, to be at choice in the body. And so, one of the tendencies, it's an unintentional tendency, but I've seen this a lot, is to really bypass the connection to the planet, bypass the opening up to what wants to come in, and really just kind of clam up and want to jump and escalate out to the cosmic forces, right? The really beautiful, joyful forces. And there's an aversion or a tendency to not want to experience or feel that which is occurring in those layers in the in-between, the galactic, the planetary, the celestial fields. And so what we do is we start to deliberately work through the body. We can start to recognize, and especially with the immune system, we can recognize that, for example, the role of the spleen. So at the physical level, the spleen filters our blood. It removes old damaged red blood cells. It helps to fight infections. It stores blood for us so that in an emergency, if we need it, it's there for us. We've got those reserves. It's, it helps to also, at the energetic level, think of it really as a rejuvenator, and a center of resilience where when we start to be depleted, these reserves come in and they're available, and it increases the energy in the body, right? And so the center of life force, this galactic spleen, not only can we recognize the role that it plays at the physical level, but taking us out into these waves of light and energy as the spleen, as we allow it to open us up to the cosmic flow of light, that's a big influx of energy. It actually helps our body attune to and recognize the benevolence of that light flow in service to our bodies, right? So it can start to diffuse that sense of overload instead of feeling like a threat as that energy comes through the spleen, which tends to be a worry center in the body when it's not attuned to its ideal optimized flow. right? It diffuses that worry, energy, or vibration in the body, and it actually allows us to recognize the light for what it is, an infusion, a life force infusion, an energetic awakening and opening and service to support to help protect us from spiritual toxins and radiation and energetic imbalances. Right? That's just one component of our immune system that helps to support us in reattuning our body to recognize the light for what it really is. Right? Like you said, when we try to bring that cosmic light energy into points of the body, and this is why we're doing the readings that we're doing. You know, what is that disruptor? We want to recognize where are the places in the immune system which, when that cosmic light comes in, like you said, it fries the system, or it refracts and it comes in. It's not the pure codes of light that we're meant to receive, right? Or where it gets skewed or distorted. How is that being impacted? You know, that's why we're going to go in and do the readings to get clear on where are those points in the body. What's that most prominent point for you? So that then you can already, as soon as we do the reading, you already start to move the energy a little bit, right? We want to go deeper in and extract that at the root of creation. But as we start to do the reading and get clear, we already the body starts to go, well, wait a minute. You know, I've been seeing this in a certain way, but that's not really how it is. There's something else that wants to open up within me. I can connect with a higher truth. That's my higher truth, right? This is all about your sovereign states of being when we're talking about the immune system. How do you cultivate even more your own sovereign state of being so you aren't at the effect of mom and dad's perspectives of the energies of the planet? Now, that's not to say that we put our head in the sand and we hide away from the things that are going on around us and we ignore them, right? I always like to use the example. If you're walking by, you're out, maybe you're on a hike, and for some reason there's a pit of quicksand that you come upon and somebody's sinking in it. You're not going to jump in the quicksand with them, right? You're going to grab a rope. You're going to stay above the quicksand and you're going to find a way to help pull them out. Right? So similarly, as we attune our immune system to the higher vibrational light energies that our bodies are meant to channel, emit, and radiate, we allow that to draw others up into those higher vibrational expressions with us. Right? So again, you know, I talked about the spleen, but we've also got our bone marrow, we've got our skin, we've got our lymphatic system. All of these parts of the immune system play a role in, you know, especially with the lymphatic, that is the fluid movement of our body. That helps to determine, are we holding on to fluid, right? Are we effectively removing toxins by removing fluid from the body? You know, how fluid is our body moving? What are we moving through our body? Is it becoming stagnant? This is important, right? We don't want to get caught in the stagnant states of being because it feels safe, right? It's a false perspective that we buy into. We've all done it, so there's no judgment, right? We've all done it, but there's these false perspectives that we've bought into because we thought that was what we needed, and maybe in some incarnation we did. But in this incarnation, we don't need to hold on to the old stagnant states of being. What has gotten us to where we are now is not what's going to take us to the next level of expansion within our being. So with our lymphatic system, it's important that we attune the lymphatic system to the recognition of what are the higher states of light that are going to serve me, the higher resonances and frequencies that really match my soul, my ideal soul template and expression in my body, and then attuning the body to recognize that, right? This is all about discernment. And, you know, with this skin, we're looking at what are we letting in? So it works intimately with the lymphatic system. And of course, our lymph vessels, you know, are run through the skin. So, you know, we really are looking at this whole combination of, as we start to work through the body, and there are other areas of the body, of course, that provide immune system functions, but it's just so much to go into all of it. But I just want you to get the sense as we're going through some of these specifics here, of really recognizing that we can utilize the physical reflection of the body to identify what is wanting to open and awaken within us. And as we start to attune these individual areas, when we reach a tipping point, if you will, right? So it's like we attune the lymph, we attune the skin, we attune the spleen, we attune the thymus gland, right? And as we move through these different areas of the immune system and of the body, we reach a tipping point where now the whole system upgrades.
Right? Domino effect. I'm seeing the domino, when you place domino and you push a few of them and then suddenly everything gets. Yeah.
Exactly. And so as we work directly, specifically through the body, we start to recognize the significance of these. I always see the organs, the glands. I mean, every single piece of our body is this beautiful, brilliant conduit of light. It can be. It has the capacity to be an opening within us to really connect with those most expansive energies. The thymus gland, of course, we know that it plays a role in the immune system, but we also know it, spiritually or in energetic context as the high heart, as a center of vitality and higher consciousness, right? And so, with the thymus gland, it's an invaluable resource right in our chest to really connect us with these higher echelons of expression. But again, as we're looking at these different centers of the immune system and looking to upgrade them and to diffuse the consciousness that prevents the cosmic light flow from coming in, there's a recognition that the first layer of work that we're doing really is to allow us to be open to the support that Mother Earth is bringing in for us. There are sacred sites on the earth plane. There are sacred energies that are flowing through the earth light grids that are here to sustain us, to strengthen us at that physical level. And so as we work through the physical body, we invite our body to open up to receive that support and to connect in and to engage in the dance with our planet that we're inhabiting right now in that way. And then when we extend beyond that, we are also opening up to the universal energies, the galactic energies, the celestial energies that are interplaying to help feed us the seeds of consciousness that awaken more of those innate sovereign capacities that have been hidden by these overwritten codes that have impacted our immunity, impacted our soul genius from emerging, and so many other things, right? And then after we work through those layers, then we're now open to now more of that cosmic light. Now that can come in on a pure grid that is inviting and allowing the dance of these different energies to really serve our greatest cosmic expression. Whew. So working with the body plays an important role, Sophie. So just want to pause there.
Yeah.
Take
that in. Yeah. Well, I was thinking about what you said about our past incarnations and how we were doing things back then and this incarnation, right? And well, in this incarnation, we want to awaken this cosmic immunity that, as you said, is innate cosmic immunity. So it's a great thing to know that it is innate and it is just so to speak, just a matter of awakening it. Now, in that perspective, are there key factors that we need to be aware of that are specifically determining in this cultivating an internal environment that will and does awaken this innate cosmic immunity? Are there key factors we need to be aware of?
Absolutely. So, we were talking about working with the body, and that's all in the vein of really unveiling our body's capacity to generate and sustain sovereign light resonance, right? We've got our microbiomes in our skin and our gut, all of the consciousness within our body that is working to a specific outcome or higher intention. And what happens is that higher intention gets lost when we start to take on patterning and programming that is the environmental influences, right? So we get influenced by mom and dad. We get influenced by our peers. We get influenced even by the physical environment. Like, for example, if you've had mold exposure, I know that's a big thing. That can cause some severe illness in the body. So now you start to perceive your environment in a certain way. Now, all of a sudden, all this patterning and programming starts to influence the microbiome and the consciousness that you're holding in your body, and it takes you into a certain expression. Now, this relates to the epigenetic factors that influence how our genes expressed within us, right? So we have our DNA that defines, has the codes and kind of defines how our body is expressed to a certain degree. But then we also have the epigenetic markers that, in a sense, they determine how those genes express. So that's environmental factors, right? That's our routines and habits that help to bring that into genetic expression. And so when we are, we know that, and we've seen, you probably have people in your world, you might even be one of them, where it's like your family has a history of some certain disease or something going on, but there's one person who they don't display it at all. I have an example. All of my siblings have asthma. I don't have asthma. It is not expressed within me, right? So why, right? That's part of that is the epigenetic marker. So part of that, again, it's the environment that we're in, it's the habits that we have within our body, but it also is the way in which we energetically engage, right? So we've got these epigenetic markers that, I think of it as like it, in a sense, they overwrite our geno expression. And so it's cool to think of this. We have the capacity to influence how our genes are expressing based on what we're doing and the environment that we steep ourselves in, right? What we put in our body, what we consume. And that's not just physically, but also energetically. What is the soup that we're swimming in, right? But also there are cosmic markers, right? And this is fascinating. So, as you know, I do a lot of work with our beloved Christel Hughes, Crystals, who's helped to found Grace. She founded Academy for the Soul, and she helped to bring this beautiful platform to life. And so she's going to be working with me. We're going to be talking about this in a little bit, but we do a lot of work together. And I got to talking with her about the epigenetic markers and the cosmic markers and what is the difference between those, right? Now, one of the things that I've historically worked with so much with people is the etheric templates, right? We've got these disfigurements that occur within the etheric templates that then impact the body, right? And so that's kind of, I was talking about working through the layers of all the different connections. When we are working with the etheric templates, that's where when we match those to optimize the flow in your body, that starts to open you up to being in communion with the sacred planetary energies, to being in communion with the celestial light flow that's coming in, the galactic influences, right? That's an important step in priming the body to be available to the influx of cosmic light flow. Now, when we look at the cosmic markers, right, these are really tied into the originating energy forces that are karmic, right? They indicate to the ethereal realm the disfigurement of the etheric template. So, when we're going out into the ethereal realms, now the cosmic markers are going, oh, wait, there's this disfigurement in the etheric template, right? That's related to the karma. So we've got to work at that layer of the cosmic karma, dissolving that and bringing those cosmic markers into that expression of light that really allows for the, more magical, mystical, just expanded potentials and capacities that allow your body to thrive, to awaken. So we've got to have the etheric template primed and ready to receive those cosmic influences that are devoid of karmic kind of kickback, if you will, right? And so we're really we're taking this to a whole deeper level, way out into the cosmic realms, right? So we've kind of been able to reach the level of working with the etheric templates and really opening up to the greater celestial and galactic light flow. Now we're looking at those epigenetic markers that haven't allowed the cosmic majesty to really awaken within in a whole new way, right? So we're really taking this. I was talking about an overhaul of the immune system. This is really basically taking those templates of light and bringing them up to a level where the foundation is the cosmic, right? The most
Mhm.
expansive space that we can be in. And so when you think about the potency of the cosmic light, right, when you think about the power and the potency of that, I want to go back to something you asked about earlier, Sophie. You asked about, when we feel like we're overloaded, when we feel like we're kind of at the
Mhm.
effect of the planet, you know, how do we really open up to it? This is how we shift the internal wiring and programming within the body, within the etheric templates, and then open up to that cosmic light flow that then animates the cosmic light grids that awakens the divinity within you. When you are in that consciousness, there's not the questioning of what's for my good or what's not for my good. You're a natural conductor and radiator of that which is the highest expression of self, right?
Mm.
I know for me, and I know, Sophie, you've learned this process too. One of the things that I learned to do was scan, a physical scanning to discern, is this action, is this choice for my highest and best good, right? It's the energy moving through my body to give me an answer. Well, you become the scanning mechanism, right? Like, it's like your body becomes this radiant beacon where you don't even have to scan, because there's a knowingness that's so deeply founded within you that you just know, right? Your
Mhm.
claircognizance is off the charts.
Mhm. Mhm.
And so when we are looking at the key factors, the epigenetic markers and the cosmic markers are extremely important to recognize. And then we also need to recognize that we have to cultivate elemental mastery in the body, right? So when we are looking at, I kind of took you way far out, but then again, one of the things we always want to do is, how do we allow the body to match this expansive light flow? So we talked about working with the specific organs and glands, but we also have to recognize that our body is really a balance of the elemental forces, the earth, air, water, fire, ether, right? So within the
Mhm.
body. And so the elemental mastery within the body, the harmonization of these elements, really are a piece of what allow us to be in that divine communion with Mother Earth and to be available to the cosmic light flow that can now come in through all the way through the etheric templates and to influence and inform the body, right?
Mm.
The masterful elemental harmonization really is a major key within your body that, when it's done, what I was shown, this is really exciting, it opens you up to the potency of sacred earth sites, those powerful vortices of cosmic light flow, without even having to leave the comfort of your own home, right? It's like you can
Mhm.
tap in and connect in. Like, my feet are vibrating as I say this, to that sacred energy that further balances and harmonizes the elements within your body, that further harmonizes and balances your expression of immunity, from a cosmic perspective. Again, I just want to kind of tie this all back in. As we work with these key factors, what happens is that we become the kind of divining rod of the ideal light flow and frequencies that serve our bodies. And when you're in that, you magnetize and radiate to you the light flow that serves you. There's not so much that's having to scan and go, wait, or have invaders come in, or, oh, wait, I have to shield and protect myself, right? You become a
Mhm.
natural shield to the
Right.
vibrational essences that don't match you when you are attuned to your most sovereign sacred soul expression. And so you can hear, I mean, there's so much that we're working through, so many different layers to really optimize the immune system. There's so much
There is,
nuance.
yes, so much, so many layers, so many components. And I was just thinking about that, so I'm glad that you mentioned this. It is so precious to have you as a guide and as support and as, yeah, you are really such an expert and a master of it. And yes, it is definitely so precious to have you to give us this. It's more than the big picture. It is the big picture, but also the clarity on what's on the menu right now, what are the stakes, what are the different components and aspects, and that you wrap it all up and you take care of all these elements. So I think if you agree, I think now is a good time to get personal, because everybody wants to know, right, with the readings, talking about scanning or reading, everybody wants to know what's my number one illuminated immunity disruptor. So let's move into this part of our time together. So everyone, to request your reading, press *2 on the phone or click raise hand on the webcast and to get on the line with Amanda, or you can place your request in the Q&A box. And the question to ask for your reading is, what's my number one illuminated immunity disruptor? So let's start with live callers, then we'll go to the Q&A and we'll go back and forth. First, we'll go to Chris. You're on the web call. Chris, I'm unmuting you. There's only one Chris that I can see. So if your name is Chris or you signed up as Chris, that's you. I don't have your location. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, Chris. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. So,
yes.
reading from Amanda.
Oh, okay. Yes.
Okay, so I'm just going to tune in and see the number one illuminated immunity disruptor. So going to bone marrow for you. So just to clarify for everybody, I'm going to be I'm going in the body. That's where I like to go. I like to go through the body to open up. So for you, Chris, I'm going into the bone marrow, and what I'm hearing is that there's a consciousness that's being held in there. It's connected to 17 past lives ago. And the consciousness that it's fear-based, and what I'm hearing is there's a sense of feeling like having to be hyper vigilant, like be aware, be recognizing, be vigilant, that there's something that could happen. Like the words that keep coming in are waiting for the other shoe to drop, right? Like I can't really fully relax into my body just in case.
Yes.
So that's what I'm seeing as the consciousness in the bone marrow. And the fear is that if the other shoe drops, then I'm not going to survive. Like it really is survival based fear, right? Like I'm not going to have what I need. Like there's lots of different pieces to it, but the ultimate belief is that I'm not going to be able to survive. And also there's a sense of feeling like I'll be on my own, right? Like I won't have support. I won't be supported. I'll be on my own as well. That is associated with that. So that's the consciousness that we want to be shifting in the bone marrow for you. And, what I see is that with that consciousness, it is like I see where it's like your energy will expand out and open. It'll actually expand all the way out to really start to open and awaken to the cosmic light flow. But then once it starts to come in, it's like, oh, wait, I don't know if this is good for me. And so then there's a shrink back down. Okay, so that's what I see happening. So as we shift that consciousness, that's going to open you up to, again, help get you into that space of discerning, okay, this matches my soul template, right? So that's one of the things that we'll be doing in the workshop. I like to bring in the templates of light and have you have the experience of that. So that way your body can discern. Even if your mind isn't sure, your body, your cells know, okay, this is what matches me. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for you, Chris.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Thank you. Blessings. Yeah, seems to resonate for Chris. In a little while, you're going to talk, Amanda, about how you are here, not only for the readings, but to support everyone with all of this, with the special offer that you've created that includes a workshop. So workshop is option 2. So for you, Chris, if I understand well, Amanda, for Chris, the solution is in the workshop. Is that what you said? So option 2 is
yes,
and
that's a piece of the puzzle, right? So realistically, what we're looking at, if we really want to bring the whole consciousness up, because I was seeing the primary points in the bone marrow, right? But that really showed us the consciousness, that consciousness is affecting the whole body and that capacity to open up to the cosmic light flow, right? With the energy lab, one of the things that I'm going to be highlighting, and I know we're going to talk about this, but I just think this is an important precursor for the readings. It'll help you discern as you're getting your reading, like, do I want to take it to that highest level with the energy lab work? But there's a cosmic light point within the immune system, which when activated will up-level the consciousness of your entire immune system. Right? Mm-hmm. So, if you think about the workshop is really working through the layers of consciousness that need to be adjusted so that you can really bring that cosmic light point online in a big way. And so to really shift the consciousness of feeling strong, supported, and really vibrant with your own sovereign light flow in the most expansive way, that I would go with the energy lab, right? So it just depends on what are you aiming to do. Do you want to just kind of recalibrate your immune system and, have that powerful stance within your body to be open and feeling settled in your body? That's what we're going to be working in the workshop. And then we're going to be taking it to the next level in the energy lab. So that's kind of the delineation there is in it. As I can put it succinctly, there's definitely more to it than that, but that's about as succinct as I can think to put it right now.
Okay, great, thank you. So, Chris, option 2, but option 1 takes you all the way. So, be open to both, and you will feel what is for you. Okay, great. Thank you, Amanda, for these precisions. Let's go to Cheektowaga, New York, with Daisy. I'm unmuting you. Hello. Hello. Let's see. Hello. Welcome.
Oh,
yes, you're on the line. Hi.
I'm not hearing. But I can.
No, you can do the reading because I see she's on the line, and she put a request in the Q&A box anyway.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going right to the skin. And so, with the skin, it's so cool. I see the lattice. Whenever I look at the skin, I see the lattice. We've got the layers of the skin, and the skin is such a brilliant protector, but it's also a radiant conduit of light that also delivers, plays a role in delivering nutrients to our body and just really reflecting the glow of our soul outward. And so I'm being taken to 34 past lives ago where with the skin, it's like having to have a thick or hardened skin. Like that's the perspective. I have to have this thick or hardened skin so that I'm impenetrable, right? So that people can't harm me or hurt me. Again, this is a protective mechanism, and it is fear-based in a sense, but there's more of that sense of not wanting to be hurt, not wanting to feel, it's as much about people not seeing the authentic expression of self because there's a fear of rejection with that authentic expression getting out. So that thick skin is a protection from the slings and arrows coming in. That's what I'm being shown. And then also that protection of people seeing the authentic truth of self and then not liking you for that. That's the perspective. Right? That's held in the lattice of the skin. But again, as you can imagine, that's impacting the whole body being. It's really shutting down the sacral creative center quite a bit. By 44% is what I'm seeing. Right? And that's a lot because that's the overall. There are times when it completely shuts down that sacral center. 100%, right? And there are other times when it opens more, which is how we come to that 44% overall. But there are times when it's really needed to have that creative flow open and moving, and it's just not able to be because of this protective sense of feeling like that I have to harden the skin, right? So we want to go in and we want to shift that dynamic, shift that consciousness, and bring that light back in. I mean, just imagine if you're feeling like you have to harden yourself, you're not going to let a whole lot of that cosmic light come in.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yeah. Like shielding, like a shield, right? Like
closing it all out, right? It's not discerning.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I'm just closing everything out except for, it's like maybe I'm peeking out a little bit here and there, but there's not a whole lot of movement that's able to really serve. So in that case, it's even hard. And I see that this is a good reflection for quite a few in the group. I'm just going to put that out there because what I see is that there's this sense of like kind of peeking out and going, ooh, I think I want that out there, but there's a sense of feeling like I can't have it that goes with that, right? So if you're feeling any sense of that, I wouldn't hesitate. I would jump in to do the deeper work.
So option one, right?
Mhm.
Energy lab. Okay,
Absolutely.
wonderful. And thank
Absolutely.
you. Daisy has put a message in the Q&A saying thank you and love. So she's receiving the reading. That's perfect.
Beautiful. That's
Okay, thank you. Okay, excellent. Let's go now to Schomburg with Andrea. I'm unmuting you, Andrea. Hello.
Hello, Sophie. Hello, Amanda. What?
Andrea.
Hello, Siri. Was my number one illuminated immunity disruptor?
I'm going to your thymus gland, and what I'm seeing is that your thymus gland. It's like it's cute. It's like I see a smiley face, right? And I see it's like it's amped up a little bit, but it wants to really expand big, right? Like I see it's like it started to open and expand more and more, lately, but it really wants to open big. And the thymus is so cool because it's like a gateway, right? It's this gateway to this higher consciousness and to really harmonization of the love vibration within self and unification with the cosmic intelligence that informs our universe. So what I see, I'm going back 12 past lives ago. And when I'm tuning into that lifetime, what I'm seeing is that I see the hand reaching in the cookie jar for the cookie and then the swat on the hand, right? It's like, ooh, what are you doing? Like, stop, like don't reach for too much. There's a sense of wanting too much or desiring too much and feeling like that's wrong or bad or punishable. So that's the consciousness we want to have you shift, that thymus can really open up in a big way. It's again, there's a radiating light that reached a certain degree, and now we're talking about really popping open bigger. And what's really fascinating is when I look into the thymus gland, what I see emerging beyond as that opens up, what I see emerging for you is this powerful capacity for your whole body to not just receive like the blessings and the beauty, but to actually be the blessing and the beauty. Like it's just this resonance of you being the blessing, right? So it's like you get to receive it first, but then it's like you just emanate that out in massive ways. So you also become the giver simultaneously. So it's really beautiful what's going to awaken as you open that thymus up more.
Beautiful. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Becoming the blessing on the way. Just a note, Amanda, is this option 2 workshop or is it energy lab work to become the blessing for Andrea?
Well, the energy lab is scanning high, and a large part of that is because the cosmic liquid light grid animation, right? So we're really looking at the whole fluidity of the body being attuned to these cosmic light frequencies and available to receive the cosmic light awakening codes as they want to emerge, right? We have so many gifts. Like we don't have just one gift that that's been bestowed upon us. We are so multifaceted. And so having that liquid light grid animated really allows us to open up more and more fluidly to those gifts as a resonance within our body so that they can naturally emerge more effectively.
Okay, Andrea.
Yes, I know, and I love the energy lab with Amanda, so I already.
I love those too. They're some of my favorites. Thank you, Andrea.
Thank
so
you.
much.
Blessings. Receive the blessings. Thank you so much for being with us. Okay, I'll come back to the the live callers. I want to take a few requests for now from the Q&A. We're gonna go to Portland with Lani. So for Lani, what's the number one illuminated immunity disruptor?
Yeah, I'm seeing a frazzled energy in the skin, and this is going back 18 past lives ago. And what I'm seeing for that is that there's a sense of wanting to keep up, like wanting to meet the expectations and even exceed the expectations of others so that they'll feel good. It's really steep in that desire to influence the experience that others are having in the world and in life and be a positive influence. And but there's this frazzledness, this sense of feeling like I can't do it, right? So there's kind of a twofold thing here that's going on, and this is really important for immune system function and flow. One is the recognition of your capacity to influence the fields of others, right? The greatest impact is by being the most brilliant, vibrant light of you. That's how we have the greatest impact, first and foremost, right? We have to recognize the sovereignty of self and sovereignty of others to make choice, right? So that's first and foremost. But then the other piece is that as you really reset your immune system to be the sovereign light flow, what I see, that frazzled energy is like an interdependence. It's like your own happiness is based on how others around you are responding. So there's kind of that's part of the invested interest in others feeling good, is so that I can feel good. So we've got to dissolve that consciousness, right? That way you can still give and share your vibrant light, right? But there's the investment is that you're sharing that out of pure generosity and kindness. You aren't having that expectation of something in return that then sets you up for disappointment, right? That's more fair to you, and it's more fair to everyone else, right? To be in that flow. But, that's a natural tendency that most of us hold that we don't even realize we're holding, is that we're doing for others with an expectation of something in return. And I know that can kind of feel a little icky to think about, right? But again, there's no judgment. It's just we want to, as we shift that and we come more into that vibrational essence of love, and especially within the skin that we're in, it's like I keep hearing, love the skin you're in, love the body you're in, right? And the skin isn't just the physical skin, it's the auric skin, right? The auric fields, like the skin, our energetic skin, if you will. So really just allowing you to be in that radiance of the light. So we want to dissolve that consciousness of feeling, frazzled and like you have to, like you're the one responsible for how others are feeling, and really have you come back into that space of cultivating your own experience of emotionality and feeling tone within, and then emitting out from the generosity of your being, that which really is that divine reflection of you.
Cultivating, that's a great word. I love this. Yeah. Okay. So for Lani, can you scan which option scans highest for Lani?
I see the liquid light really resetting. That liquid light grid animation, really taking it to the deepest levels. Our skin has so much fluidity within it, but then also we think about the bone marrow, the blood, the circulation of light through the body, the circulation of the lymph through the body, right? With that liquid light grid animation, that really helps to up level that fluid movement through the body so that you are attuned to your vibrant soul frequency. So that's what I see is going to have the greatest impact. Again, with the workshop, we're doing so much deep work to shift the body dynamics, and there's a lot of benefit to that. And with that cosmic liquid light grid animation, that can then be done, that really takes it to that next level.
Perfect. Thank you, Lani. Blessings. Okay, let's go to North Carolina, Hendersonville, with Alice. So for Alice, what's the number one illuminated immunity disruptor?
Alice, I'm going to the lymph, and I'm seeing a confusion energy. The confusion energy, I'm being drawn to past life. It's 38 past lives ago. And what I'm being shown is that there's, it ties into self-doubt. I see the questioning of you, right? The questioning of, are you sure you want to do that? Right? Is that really what you want to do? Right? Like there's this constant questioning that you were subjected to in that lifetime. And what I see is it actually was from people who were well-intentioned, but they, when people who care about you question you, then it's like, oh, then you may start to question self, right? And so that's what I see is there's this dynamic of questioning. So there's this back and forth dynamic. Should I, shouldn't I? Questioning of self, that doubting even when you feel confident in moving forward. Like we always have that first initial instinctual nudge where it's like we know what to do, and then the questioning can stop us from actually really recognizing that sometimes. And that's what I see happening for you, right? And so I see that predominantly in the lymphatic system. So there's the confusion of, is this good for me? Is this not? Should I remove this? Should I not? Should I move this out? Should I keep this? Like there's that questioning. I also see that digestion, as you can imagine, right? It can be constipation. It can be energetic constipation. We're holding on to old energies and old memories that really aren't of highest service, right? So we really want to have you shift that consciousness, that self-doubting, that confusion, and open back up to the highest light flow. And for you, since I know Sophie's going to ask, I'm really scanning highest for the Energy Lab, the Supreme Immuno-Intelligence Illumination Energy.
Okay, option one for you, Alice. And we're gonna have, thank you, Amanda, thank you, blessings, Alice. We're gonna have you share very soon about this wonderful package you've created. I just want to have a couple more readings, maybe. And before that, Lani says this is spot on. Working through generations of codependency. Thank you, beautiful. I can feel the adjustment, and I'm looking forward to it. Thank you for sharing, Lani. That's so perfect.
Thank you for that feedback.
Yeah. Okay, let's go to Switzerland with Sabine. For Sabine, what's the number one illuminated immunity disruptor?
I'm going to the spleen. There's a whole new level of life force that's wanting to energize your soul mission and purpose coming through that spleen. And what I see is that there's like a energetic ring or tap to the energy that's able to come through the spleen right now. Now, I'm going back to 45 past lives ago, and the energy that I'm seeing is not wanting to let them down. There's a perception that if I open up to this big energy and then I'm interacting with others, I'm somehow going to let them down. Like it almost feels like I'm going to make a promise that I can't deliver on. That's kind of the energy that's behind this consciousness, right? And so what I see already, I see your body wanting to start to shift and adjust to this, but there really is that adjustment that needs to be made centers around the idea of recognizing that you're meant to bring the energy through you, and that's it. That's where your responsibility ends, right? You bring the energy through. We all have choice whether or not to receive it. You see, this is starting to become a theme. This is not the first reading this comes through in.
Right.
We all have our choices to what we receive and take in. Now, that's unconscious. That's why we're working with the immune system. Right? That we get a greater choice of what we are bringing in and through our body, right? But, as we start to shift that within ourselves, then we become that greater conduit and radiant center of light. The more of us that do this, the more collective consciousness does this, right? And then the more we all get to be at greater choice. So, Sabina, that's what I'm seeing for you. We want to have you dissolve that perception of who you have to be for others, how you have to show up for them, the expectations of them around you, and shift that consciousness to you being the most potent, radiant conduit of light, infused with that big energy that wants to move through your spleen and really up-level that light force flow through you, okay? And again, option one is what's getting highest for you.
Definitely. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you, Sabina. Blessings. Okay, let's take one more before you talk about this Energy Lab and workshop. Let's go to Atlantic Highlands with Michelle. So for Michelle, what's the number one illuminated immunity disruptor?
This is interesting because I'm going to a combination of thymus and thyroid. So I went to throat as well, right? So we've got throat and heart. What I see is stifled expression. It's like, I can't share. It's not safe to share. It's not safe to be open. It's not safe to be authentic. And there's a fear of saying the wrong thing. Right, saying the wrong thing. Part of that not wanting to say the wrong thing is not wanting to hurt or harm others. Right? There's a perception that if I speak, quote unquote, the wrong thing, I'm going to cause them hurt or pain. Okay. This stems from a past life. It's 39 past lives ago. And the words that are coming in is empty promises. So it's like saying something and then it doesn't come to fruition. Right. And so we want to dissolve that consciousness of stifling self-expression, there being the right or wrong thing to say. We don't know what we're activating. Sometimes we say things and it might trigger a hurt within somebody that it's a reflection of what needs to come up to the surface to be released, right? It might actually be a divine collaboration in that moment,
right?
Even though it feels icky, And so if we hold true, this is why I love recalibrating our immune system to divinity of self. Because when we hold true that every action that I take is for the highest divine good, for the highest good for all, when we hold that intention, then even those moments when we speak something out, we know it's coming from that space of maybe they do need to bring something up, and maybe we're the one who can catalyze that up and out for them, right? So that they can then open up to a greater expression of light in the safest way possible, right? Maybe it's the least amount of pain, like Sophie, you're an emotional master. We have to we can't avoid that. We can't just stuff them or ignore them, right? And so, really recognizing your role again. Your role is to be the most radiant light, and just stay centered in the intention of whatever comes through you is for the highest good for you, for all those around you, for the planet, and trust that, right? But again, in order to establish that trust, we've got to have our body systems calibrated to that trust. And when we up-level our immune system, we also inherently and innately naturally up-level our gut, because so much of our immune system is in our gut. So, this really is a whole systemic up-leveling of light. So all of that a long answer, Michelle, but it's option one that's getting highest. And I know option one keeps coming through a lot, but I'm really all about the business of let's get in there and really expand in the biggest way as possible, as quickly as possible. Like I want us vibrating and opening up our great gifts and capacities. And so, I don't let that influence the scan. I still keep scanning, but if you're here and you're with me, your intention, your soul intention really is to open in the most expansive ways possible as well. So that's largely a big piece of why that is scanning high for those of you who have come through so far.
Yeah, thank you. Okay, thank you so much. Blessings to you, Michelle. Let's bounce on this and let's discover. You've created, Amanda, a wonderful offering, Illuminated Intuitive Immunity. So we'd love to hear all about it. We've heard bits and pieces. Let's bring it together for everyone to follow. If you're on the phone, you can go on the web to gracefulconnections.com. That's graceful with 2 L's, gracefulconnections.com/Amanda 4, digit 4. If you're on the webcast, you have a button and a link, and you just click there. If you're on the replay, just scroll down the page to discover Amanda's special offer. Amanda, please reveal what you have created for our audience.
Okay, so we're going to go out. We're going to go out expansive, and then I'm going to bring you back into how we're going to get there. Okay. So, because eyes on the prize, like it's so fun when we're able to live in the vibrational resonance with our sovereign energy and bring in more of that expansive light flow. So much of the work that I've been called to do is about really reconditioning the body to be that vibrant, radiant expression of your soul light. So many of us go up out of the body to try to attain and reach those levels of light. And then it's the desire to come back into the body, it feels limiting, constricting, and confining. So the whole idea is we want our bodies to be this radiant light. So we are in our bodies, bringing the light through and just recognizing that our body actually is the conduit for cosmic light to come through. So with that in mind, we're going to be doing a couple things with the Supreme Immunointelligence Awakening option, right? Before, we're going to get together on a live group call. It's an energy lab, but it's going to be a small group, right? I'm going to work with you one-on-one there, and we're going to go deep. And I'm going to be doing a specific focus with you. But before we even get to that, I'm going to be tuning into you specifically. I'm going to do a remote assessment and start the reconditioning, working with your energy fields. And I'm going to be looking at the conditions of your bone marrow, thymus gland, lymphatic system, spleen, skin, your aura, right? And really recognizing what are the vulnerabilities that are weakening your immunity, that are creating incongruence with that cosmic light flow that wants to animate and move through you, right? And I'm going to make the adjustments within those specific body areas and within your aura that allows you to be more of that radiant conductor of the cosmic light flow, right? Really taking you to that next level of being able to hold that light and activate the galactic light grid. So that's where we're really looking at coming into harmony and communion with the planetary fluxes, with the fluxes of the stars and the planets, of our universe, right? Being able to dance with that. I know we've all probably experienced with these influxes of light. There are some times where we can feel like, I'm down. I got to go lay down. I'm not moving, right? Or the body just like shuts down, or you get sick and like things are purging, or it just totally takes you out, right? Your mind is completely gone, can't think. There's all different sorts of symptoms that can come as these influxes of light within our own universe come in. And so this really is, this initial remote assessment and reconditioning is really about coming into the communion and dance with the planetary and the galactic energies that are here in service to us, so that we can recognize that they are of service to us. And I know you mentioned that before, Sophie, like not being overwhelmed, pride, all these things, right? We're really reconditioning the body system to be able to discern and identify the energies that can come in that really service keeping your divine light grid illuminated, because that's what we're going to be doing in the Supreme Immuno-Intelligence Illumination and Divine Light Grid Activation Energy Lab, right? I'm going to be going in when we come together then for the live group energy lab. This is really exciting. Like I was having trouble sleep last night because I was like, the energy that was coming in for this piece. But we're going to be identifying the primary cosmic light point in your immune system, right? When this is turned on, I'm going to identify where is that for you in your body. And when we turn that on, it's going to activate your soul's immune superpowers. We have all these superpowers. I was talking about that, right? And specifically for the immune system, that is the capacity to really magnetize and connect in with the light energies that you are meant to bring through your body, to anchor on the planet, that are meant to help you thrive, right? And so you have your own unique superpowers in that capacity. And the wild part is, Sophie, what I found is that usually people are unconsciously utilizing their superpowers. Like you're using your superpowers. You don't even realize it's a superpower, and you don't even realize that you can cultivate that to make it even stronger, right? It's just like, oh, well, that's something that's so easy. I do that all the time, right? We don't realize it's a superpower that we can actually use to really strengthen. And so, or maybe you've had inklings of it, but you haven't been using it to the degree that it really wants to open and awaken within you. So we want to shed light on that and really bring that into powerful expression within you. So in order to do that, we're going to be doing a couple other things with that. We're going to recognize and transform the number one energy shunt that's preventing the cosmic light flow to move through that space and inform your immune system, that cosmic light point space. And we're going to bring online your Supreme Immuno-Intelligence codes that relate to your superpowers and really upgrade your entire immune system at the same time, right? And so this is so exciting to me. I mean, to really be able to open to your immuno superpower and bring that online, that is going to take you to levels of function within your immune system that really allow you to reach out to the expansive cosmic light flow in an adaptable way, right? We are not stagnant beings. We're not meant to be in a fixed state. So this isn't like a one and done. This is about conditioning and resetting your programming and wiring so that as more and more cosmic light waves continue to come in and as our planetary energy shift and as our galactic energy shift all around us, you are in that dance of opening up more and more to these superpowers that are wanting to awaken for you. Now, part of that, of course, we're going to be going through and really helping to up-level that immune system flow. And there's a lot on the page you can read. I'm not going to go through every piece, but I talked about the cosmic liquid light grid animation for your immune system fluids. Again, we want the body to be in the fluidity, in the flow, in the intimate dance of the crystalline light frequencies that are here to serve you, that allow the cosmic light codes that match your divine mission to emerge within you. And so we're going to be animating that cosmic liquid light grid that is your unique light grid, right? We all have our own unique soul flow and design that we are meant to emit. And so we're bringing that online for you, animating that within you and having you cellularly experience that so you know what your body is meant to be attuned to, right? When you have that experience, your body can then go back to that experience of that vibrational essence and attune to it and really have you strong in that vibration. And so this is really, after we do all this individual work, we're actually going to also be taking you through a group journey that recalibrates and resets your whole entire immune system so that your spleen, your thymus gland, your lymphatic system, your skin, right? All these sacred gateways really are taken to that next level where they can remain open for you in the ways that most serve you, right? So they're open to the connections and to the places that really serve you, but they're not allowing in that cosmic radiation or the spiritual attacks or any of the things that are of disservice to you. Okay, so that's option one. That's the energy lab. That's the awakening of the supreme immunointelligence by opening you up to your soul's immune superpowers. Okay, so.
Yes. And so much, I want to comment on this, so much light in this energy lab. It is really brilliant. I mean, we can feel, it's like, as you speak, it feels so brilliant. Absolutely. So, okay, energy lab. Now you also, and that's option one. That's option one also includes the option two that you're going to talk about, which is the workshop. So
option two, I have partnered with our absolute brilliant multi-visionary genius, Christel Hughes. Right. And of course, I love working with her. We have such a great dynamic. I'd love to go deep within the body and really explore the consciousness of the body and really the opening up of the consciousness to these higher light frequencies. And of course, Christel is so good at taking us so expansive and bringing those energies in and really working. We kind of work from two different angles to come together to create just this luminous space of awakening within the body, right? Everything coming together so that you can experience the brilliance of the expansive, higher dimensional energies in your own physicality. And so I'm so excited to work with her. And so I'm going to speak to what we're both going to be doing in the workshop. And this is really about illuminating your cosmic immunity, right? So we're already going to be priming and awakening your body to open up to the cosmic light flow that wants to move through you. This is really powerful, deep work. So I kind of spoke to this a little bit already when I was talking about working through the body, through different parts of the body. We're going to work with your spleen. We're going to work with your lymphatic system, bone marrow and blood, your thymus gland, your skin. And again, on the page, there's so much there that you can read through. But the kind of overall view of this is we're going to be bringing in an immune system divination symbol, right? This is really, it's so special. I saw this, one of the things that I do, if you've worked with me where I've spun in symbols, you know the power and the potency of the symbols to impact the body. And you know that they're very, very special. What is so sweet about this immune system divination symbol is that it allows us to dissolve. I was talking about the etheric template disfigurements. It allows us to simultaneously dissolve those while we are shifting consciousness in the body, right? So we're going to be shifting the anomalies within these different body areas that prevent that cosmic light flow, that don't allow you to really be in the dance of the influxes of light that are coming in to serve you. Right? It up-levels that level of discernment and the capacity to recognize what are the energies that are a benevolent match for you and what are the energies that are not. Now, with the symbol, what we do is we spin that in and it holds the awareness of your elevated soul consciousness. And so one of the things that I've been shown as the primary influencer of elevated immune function really is awareness, the discernment. What is of support? What is benevolent? What is beneficial? Right? We hear at the physical level of the immune system being overreactive or underreactive, or there's different things in the dysfunction. But really, when we harmonize your immune system, it can recognize what are the benevolent energies what is beneficial, and it can allow that to be that which you are sustaining within your body being. And so that's what this symbol is really all about. It's about bringing that elevated awareness in so that you know what are the energies that are going to serve that elevated soul expression of you as you move forward. You know, I mentioned this before, I'm going to mention again. What has taken us to the level of expansion where we are now, it's not going to take us to the next level of expansion that we're wanting to step into. Just like with athletics or sports, you know, you get to a certain level, and if you keep doing the same things over and over, it's going to sustain you, right? You're going to keep going. But if you're not pushed to that next level, like if you're not doing some different things that are a little bit hard, you're not going to expand into that next level of performance. Similar idea with the immune system. We are really being pushed with the influxes of light into that next level. So why not be deliberate about it, right? Why not be deliberate and really allow the process to have more ease and grace? I know we're here for grace, you know, in that journey. So that's the piece that I'm going to be doing, is really helping you work through the body and prime your body for the expansive energies that want to come through. And then Christel is partnering with Archangel Metatron and Metatron Cube. And if you have done any work with her, you know that there is a level of sophistication and power that comes in that is so uniquely settling, right? Like the body welcomes the echelons of light that flow in through the work that is done in partnership with Archangel Metatron and Metatron's Cube. And so she's taking us through some of those key factors that I was talking about. So the elements, we talked about the elements, right? The significance of having the elements balanced within the body. She's going to do an elemental immuno infusion, right, to help harmonize your immune system. Thymus amplification. So while I'm going to be working with helping to dissolve the consciousness that prevents more of that cosmic light flow and really open that thymus up, she's going to take you to the next level with that, right? You know, that thymus gland is such a powerful sacred center. And so she's going to amplify what you are able to magnetize and draw through your body through that, right? She's going to bring in some crystalline frequencies, specific, very specific frequencies for your immune system that really help you be that kind of vibrational beacon that repels that which doesn't serve you, right? You're naturally repelling pathogens that would otherwise harm or hurt you, whether it's physical or energetic, right? And then also this epigenetic immunity shift. So rewriting epigenetic markers related to your immunity, right? Aligning your cosmic imprint with the higher dimensional energies. Right? This is what's going to help you be resilient in the face of the cosmic energy waves. This is what's going to really open you up to the greater flow of cosmic light within your body, right? Really integrating and strengthening your biocosmic grid that fortifies your soul expression and the cosmic light that enhances that soul expression, right? Activating those gifts and energies within you. And what's so amazing about the combination of the shifts that Christel's going to be walking you through is that it really, I think of it as a transformation of your immune system into this galactic blueprint, right? That really opens you up to your own universe of light, right? That allows the planets and the stars to be of service to that greater expression, which really that is an anchoring of cosmic harmony and inner strength within your body being. So, you know, we've got, you can imagine, we've got the whole flow of work through the body that really helps your body be prepared and open and ready to open up to this expansion, this entire reset through all the ethereal realms so that you are now in every single level and layer of your being. We talked about this being very nuanced. Everything is being addressed so that you can ensure that beautiful radiance of cosmic light in your body being as that divine immune expression.
Wow. Yes. So comprehensive, so brilliant. And yes, read on the page. It's a delight to, if only to read the page, it's a delight. So make sure to go get all the details. Thank you so much, Amanda, and thank you for coming together with Christel and creating this very brilliant package and very exclusive, offering the exclusivity of it to Graceful Connections. It's very generously priced, and you also have 2 payment, even 3 payment options to make it really accessible for everyone who needs it. So make sure to go and check it out on the page. Thank you, Amanda. Let's go back to, are you up to doing more readings?
Yes, let's do it.
Yes. Okay, let's do it. I'm going to take a few in the Q&A, then go to live callers, and we'll see if you can take more from the Q&A. For now, we're going to Kazan in the UK with Regina. Regina.
Yeah, Regina. I'm going to your aura. So what I'm seeing is in the mental body, I'm seeing what looks like this scattered energy. And I'm going back 10 past lives ago, and what I'm seeing with that scattered energy is that there's a sense of not wanting to miss a thing. Like, I don't want to miss out. I don't want to miss a thing, right? What do they call it? FOMO, fear of missing out, right? And so there's a sense of not wanting to miss out. But what's really interesting is this whole consciousness dynamic actually has you missing out on your own genius of self. Right. And so it's actually perpetuating the paradigm you're wanting to prevent. And that this is common, right? This is very common that we see this, where it's like the very thing we're afraid of is the thing we're cultivating because the fear we're holding of that. So we want to have you dissolve that consciousness from the mental body, where I actually see that impacting the skin, the lymphatic system, and the thymus gland, all of those. So, really, there's like that scattered energy and that sense of like almost like franticness is what I'm seeing in the body. So we want to have you shift that, and bringing that liquid light grid online in the energy lab. That's where I'm really being drawn to point you to. That's what's scanning highest. Because that's going to let you settle into the body on that foundation of recognizing that all that you want to experience exists within you, and everything that's outside of you is a reflection of that.
Right. Yes, absolutely. Projections, right? Yeah. Okay. So option 1 for you, Regina, ideally. Thank you. Blessings to you. We are going to New Orleans with Vladana.
Yeah, I'm going to the skin. And it's interesting because I see the hardening on the right side of the body. Maybe not, not so surprising. Right side of the body, left brain, right? That's where we're like the rigidity, the structure, right? There's a perception that in order to be structured, I have to be rigid, I have to be hardened, right? And I keep hearing the words a man's world. And so I'm seeing this having been created at age 4, and like there's a sense of this is what's going to create success for you. This is how you're going to be successful, rigid, structured, getting it done. It's almost like forcing an A-type personality when that's not your natural inclination, right? Your natural inclination, what I see in the template, is really to have a more balanced. Yes, we need the structures. They're important. They're valuable. We don't want to discount that. They're actually vital, right? But we want to have that creative flow and movement within the structures, right? And we want those structures to evolve and grow as we evolve and grow as soul beings. So that's what I see is we need to create that harmonization between the left and right with that ideal immuno-expression, right? So definitely the energy lab, because we want to bring in that harmonization of like that superpower. What I see is your capacity to bounce between that brilliant combination of creativity and light flow and creating the structure. So we really want to bring that online more.
Wonderful. Option 1 for you, Vladana. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Blessings. Let's go back to the live callers. We have Kathy in South San Francisco. Unmuting you, Kathy. Hello.
Hey, Sophie. Hey, Amanda.
Hi, Kathy. Welcome.
Oh, Sorry, I haven't talked yet. God, I need some water. Yeah, I'd like to know what my number one illuminated immunity disruptor is at this time.
Yeah, I'm going to your thymus gland and being drawn to 12 past lives ago. What I see, it's like when I want to look at your thymus gland, it's like it's turning around. It's like it's trying to hide. It's like, don't look at me, right? That's the energy I'm seeing. There's a fear of showing your brilliance. There's a fear of rejection because you're too beautiful, too smart, too successful. There's a fear of becoming a target in the face of success that was ingrained in that lifetime. And so even though you might attain certain levels of success, there's that shrinking back in that happens. There's like I see a threshold, right? That is within that thymus. And of course, the thymus can bring in so much big energy that that would be a place where we would tamper and kind of shrink down the energy that we're able to bring in if we don't want to be seen in that brilliance and genius. So that's the consciousness we want to have you release, is that sense of not wanting to be seen in your brilliance, in your genius, and any perception of that making you a target or somehow creating pain or suffering for you. Okay. Scanning highest for the energy lab.
Okay.
So that we can deliberately, you're going to get so much through the workshop with the amplification of the thymus and shifting the consciousness there. But then taking it to that next level, I see your whole body being lighting up, right? And the beautiful thing is that when you are in the illuminated liquid light grid, that cosmic liquid light grid, you're so steeped in your own energy that even if people are rejecting, a lot of times you don't even notice it. It's almost like right, like it does. It's not even coming into your own awareness because it's so devoid of it's like your eyes are on the prize is what I keep hearing. You're so focused on what you're doing and what you're about and who you're being for the planet that what other people are doing or saying, it doesn't have the capacity to impact or prevent you from doing that.
I try.
And that's what the energy lab is for, so that can really be.
Yes, that's where it's gonna take you. That's where it's gonna take you. Absolutely. Okay, option one for you, Kathy. Thank you. Blessings. Thank you. Okay, let's go to the phone. Last digits 7358 in Catasauqua, Pennsylvania. Unmuting you.
Hello, Sophie. Hello.
Hi.
It is. Hello. Hi. How are you, ladies?
Hi,
welcome.
It's great being here with all of you.
Okay, Amanda, what is like illuminating my immunity to kind of hold me back?
Yeah, I'm going to your spleen. And 8 past lives ago is where I see the consciousness originating. And what I'm being shown is there's a deep sadness and worry that's intertwined. Right. And it's worry about others, and there's a fear of losing others and not wanting to get too close to others. And so there's this sense of it's like having to hoard or even over, with the spleen, it holds reserve blood, but there's like a sense of I'm not holding on to enough, or I'm not sustaining enough, or like I'm going to need more. Like there's this worry that it's not going to be enough. And it really centers deeper into a sense of I'm not enough. And so there's an interplay with the thymus gland where I'm seeing that belief of I'm not enough. So there's an interplay between the spleen and the thymus that's kind of fostering this false belief that you have to be something other than what you are in order to be the flow of that cosmic light, to be the flow of the expansive light of self, right? What I see, your body's wanting to shift into more of a sense of recognizing that whatever I need is moving through me in the moment. I don't have to hold on to something, like whatever support I need, it's there for me when I need it, right? It's the settling into that. That helps you to recognize that there's nothing you have to be or do, or there's no measure of enoughness, right, that you have to meet in order to have what you need. So that's what I see we want to work with dissolving and shifting for you. And
Exactly.
yeah, the option one is scanning highest for you at the energy lab.
Thank you.
All right.
Very much. You just confirmed why I do what they call bioenergetics, and I'm now on a spleen infusical.
Mm.
Relation to the spleen, energy-wise, of how to go inside with the body. So now I understand why I'm on that, and it was in purple.
Yeah.
So thank you for that clarification.
Thank
Blessings to
you.
both.
Thank
Thank
you.
you for taking my call also.
Absolutely. Blessings to you. Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, Sophie.
You're welcome. Thank you. Confirmations, we love them, don't we?
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you. Okay.
Yeah, the body speaks.
Yes, the body speaks. Sometimes the body screams, or even,
Yep.
right? And we need to hear it. The body speaks, and then we need to hear it from somebody as well to make sure.
Well, and that's
Wonderful.
when you say that, I think that's one of the things that's important to remember. Obviously, I'm here. I'm happy. I love speaking to bodies. Like it's a passion. I love it. It's interesting. It's fascinating. And there's so much that we can learn about our whole world through our bodies. And I'm also so keen on helping you condition your body so that you can speak to your own body and you don't need to go outside of self for answers, right? That's what this is all about. It's about getting you into that space of being able to interact and engage with your own body and get the information that you want and need from your own body.
This is so very important, and I'm so glad that you added this. And I want to add on top of this also, so that the body no longer has to scream, right, but can turn down the volume and gives us signals and messages and insights at comfortable volume, instead of screaming with loud symptoms and manifestations, right? That's important as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you. Okay, let's go to Charlotte, North Carolina, 7200. Unmuting you. Hello.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, welcome. What is your name, please?
Hi. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Hi, I'm Zaya Bell. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Oh, yay. Welcome. Thank you for being here with us and blessing us with your presence. Okay.
Wow.
So where I'm being drawn for you to bone marrow and blood, and where it's 57 past lives ago. What I'm seeing there is this, the words I'm hearing is self-deprecation, but it's a learned behavior. It's like putting myself down so that if others put me down, then it doesn't feel so bad, right?
Absolutely.
It's like a defense. And
unworthiness. Unworthiness and imprint. It's a persecution, poverty, punishment, and it's all of that scarcity, severe scarcity and deprivation and deficiency. Yes.
Yep, and it links. There's an interconnection with the thymus gland as well. So there's again, kind of like what I was seeing before. There's a certain level of light that you're allowing through that thymus gland. And there's so much more.
And the vagus. What about my vagus?
What's that?
My vagus nerve, is that as well connected to it?
Yes. So really important to recognize that with misfiring of the vagus nerve, we go into fight, flight, freeze, and you know it locks our body in these conditions of really being steeped in the fear. And so that fear of it's a combination fear that you've got going on here. It's the fear of how I'll be perceived by others, and then the fear of how that's going to impact you, right? And so we just want to shift that consciousness and just have you recognize what I'm seeing with you is you are such a beautiful, like there's such a beauty and just this beautiful resonance of light within you that is so peaceful and so gentle and so sweet, but at the same time so insanely powerful, right?
I know, it's scary to me.
Nope. So that's what we want to have, that activated and animated. And that's something I think working deeper in that energy lab, we can bring that online. We can have that liquid light grid infused with that and really dissolve that old consciousness that really, I mean, it's not a match for you anymore, but it's like still kind of like it's holding on for dear life is what I see. That consciousness
Right.
is
Like, am
right?
I leaking energy? Is there energy leaks that are feeding it? Is there any way I should ask the angels to seal up those energy leaks? Because it feels like I might be leaking energy to it.
Yeah. Well, and that's what we're working through deliberately in the workshop is really fixing those leakages in all the different areas of the immune system.
You're in the right place. Wonderful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
Blessings.
you.
Thank you for joining. Thank you. Blessings. Wonderful. Okay. We're going to go to Charlottesville, Virginia with Margaret. Margaret, you are on my list from the Q&A, but you are brave. You raise your hand. So here we go. Margaret, welcome.
Hi, thanks.
Hi.
What is my number one illumination immunity disruptor? I think that was the question.
I got you, Margaret.
Thank you.
I'm going to spleen for you, and what I'm seeing is a shrinking in of the splenic energy, and this ties to a past life. It's 17 past lives ago, and what I'm being shown in that lifetime for you is that not wanting to outshine. There's a sister dynamic, some sort of sister dynamic going on, and it's like not wanting to have her feel bad about self. But then also not wanting to be the center of attention. Like being the center of attention, there's this perspective that it comes with responsibilities that you don't want to take on, right? It's like I don't want to have to try to live into what others expect of me and then fall short and disappoint them, right? So there's this whole kind of, I see it sitting above the head, like above the head as well. There's a whole like machination of energy that's been constructed of the perspectives and perceptions about what is going to happen if I really step into the fullness of my own being, right? And so we want to dissolve that whole grid, right? We just want to dissolve that, and we want to replenish that light through the spleen for you. So again, deliberately, as we walk through what we're doing in that workshop, that's going to be a huge support. And then to really embody, embrace the fullness of the energy that wants to merge through you, we can have you step into the experience of that pure expression of self and how that energy moves through you in that energy lab.
All right. Well, that rings true. So thank you very much.
Thank
you.
Thank you. Blessings.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, well, there are many more requests in the Q&A, but I believe that at this stage, it is so clear that no matter what is going on and what is present, it is so clear that you are our person, Amanda. You are our expert, and with what you've created, you're here for us, and you're gonna help and guide and support, and things are going to happen. And it seems that pretty much for everyone, the invitation is to take it all the way, as you said, take it all the way with the Energy Lab. So let me wrap up before I give you the closing word, if there's anything you want to add, Amanda. Wrapping up Illuminated Intuitive Immunity, this brilliant program. It is brilliant. Option 1, you have the Supreme Immunointelligence Awakening. That's the live group Energy Lab with personalized intuitive readings and transformational adjustment. And included in option 1 is the Cosmic Immunity Illumination, the workshop with Amanda and Christel. That's option 1. Option 2 is the workshop, which is really a live group, deep dive, very deep dive call, and very illuminating as well. And you have all the details on the special offer page. Go to gracefulconnections.com/Amanda4. If you're on the webcast, you have the button and the link. If you're on the replay, just scroll down the page and discover all the details and the wonderfulness of this special offer. Very special offer, very solid work. Amanda, thank you for offering this. Is there any word of closing that you have? Anything else you want to add?
Well, I would say stay tuned. If you did not get a reading, there is an option to get one if you act quickly. So
yes.
Stay tuned for the details on what that, it's very comprehensive and deep reading that you'll get. So, I think realistically, when you tune in, so, just taking a moment to just really settle into your body right now and ask your soul, what is for my highest evolution? What is it that's going to bring me most ease and grace in this journey? Let your soul give you the answer, right? Being attuned to your sovereign knowing, not just attuned from a consciousness of I'm getting answers, but an attunement where your arms are guided, your feet are guided to the resources, to the connections that serve you at that highest level, that serve you in coming together in community in spaces like this where we are anchoring the highest vibrations of light on the planet. That is invaluable. And to live from that space, it's every day is a gift and a blessing and a dance and awe, right? The things that the more that I know I open up more and more to my own sovereign states of being, the way that things come into my world to help facilitate the practical navigation of this planet blow my mind, right? It's like solutions coming before I even I needed to find a solution. It's pretty stunning.
Right.
And it's just this natural ease and grace in navigating the world that helps to bring peace to the heart and the mind and the body. And so when we deliberately work with the body, I do this every single day with myself. I'm talking to my body. I'm working with my body. And I bring the processes that I'm using with myself to all of you, right? The expanses to which I'm going, I want to take you all with me if you're willing. So that's what this is all about. It's about letting you in and opening you up to this exciting world that exists within you of your own body and allowing it to be that and allowing you to come to be in greater relationship with your body in a way that really excites you, right? Rather than the body being this, especially as we age, this thing that's like, oh no, it's not moving the way I want it to, or something like that. We really start to shift how we are perceiving and interacting and engaging with our body, and it becomes a whole new space of being and living for us. And so, there's nothing more important than the energy that we are living in within our body, the environment that we are cultivating around us. Again, that's not just the physical spaces we're living in. I'm really talking about the cultivation of the planetary energies, the galactic light energies that we're opening up to, the celestial light energies that we're opening up to, even all the way the cosmos, all of existence that we are opening up to and allowing to serve us. And so, really stepping into the empowerment of our capacity to influence those markers that really discern and determine our body's experience here in this incarnation. It's just such a fascinating, expansive journey, and I can't wait to meet all of you who jump in with us there.
Thank you. Yes, thank you. Oh, wow. Let's take a moment to be present once again to the Orb of Grace, allowing it to remain there, holding us, holding all that we have discovered, understood, received, experienced today, all that we're not even yet aware that we have received, allowing it to sink in as we are held in the Orb of Grace. For as long as it serves our highest good, our evolution, and the highest good of all. And I'm closing now by giving gratitude to each and every one of you in the audience. Thank you for answering yes to the calling of grace and the calling of your immune system to operate with galactic intelligence. Yes, that's what it's all about. Thank you. Gratitude to you, immense gratitude to you, Amanda. You're really the true expert in intuitive energy efficiency. Thank you so much for all the insights, the wisdom, the brilliance, and the offerings you gifted us today through all the graceful connections that have been woven with you and your masterful expertise. Thank you, Amanda.
Thank you, Sophie.
Thank you. And gratitude to the Orb of Grace for providing a safe, sacred space for our journey of exploration. Gratitude for all the grace we are blessed with at every moment. Whether we're aware of it or not, it offers all the nourishment, the nurturing, the healing, the revelations and the realizations that we open our hearts to receive. Gratitude to our higher selves and all the higher beings who guide, support, and protect us. And gratitude to the divine. Thank you. Until we meet again, many graceful blessings to you all. Thank you, Amanda. Thank you, everyone. Goodbye now.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.